Aw, how cute. That Shellder is gonna bite onto Slowpoke and it will evolve. Oh god, no. That's not gonna evolve into Slowbro at all, is it? I wanted to make some evolutions for Pokemon who prey upon Pokemon. Some rather parasitic and some more tame than others. Ever wanted to see a pseudo-legendary Galarian Weezing evolution based on its predatory nature? No? Well, no. You stick around till the end and you'll see it. It's cool, I promise. Comment down below your ideas to some predatory or parasitic Pokemon evolutions, and I might use them in another video. Alright, let's start with a wild one in the Tinkatink line. So Tinkertuff is known for attacking groups of Pawniard and Bisharp in its Dex entry. And while normally they use this to make a hammer, I thought, what if they managed to get some leaders' crests and started to forge their very own armor? I wanted to use only the parts of the Pawniard line here, no Corviknight or any other steel type for it, so you could tell exactly where this absolute freak stole all the metal from directly off the hides of those poor Pokemon. Honestly, this one has sort of a Patrick in the Go-Go Boots energy, and I love it. Tinkatai here is going full Sentai Ranger, even having a sick Kamen Rider-esque scarf made out of King Gambit's mustache blades, which sounds harsher saying it out loud than I expected it to be, even weird as well. I love the Tinkaton line, and honestly, this evolution is so sick, it makes me want to make more kind of what-if Tinkaton evolutions, where it goes on a steel-type destruction spree. Tinkatai, the leader Pokemon, a Steel and Dark type. Evolves from Tinkertuff upon leveling up after defeating 3 Bisharp that holds a leader's crest. Tinkatai rule over Pawniard and Tinkertuff with its hoarding nature. Little do the Pawniard know their steel will be used when they evolve to create more Tinkatai. A single cut from a Tinkatai crest is enough to cleave a car in two. The cut is very rough though. Tinkatai have the abilities Mold Breaker and Supreme Overlord. What about Lechonk next? This actually comes from Appleton's Violet Dex entry, where Lechonk tried to eat Appleton, but it sprays sticky nectar on it. This one's kind of messed up, to be honest.
Tasty.
I based this off the idea of the classic roast pig with the apple in its mouth. The sticky nectar of Appleton glazes Lechonk, and all the while it may be a bit flammable, and now you have this normal fire-type evolution. They roast applins themselves in their mouths and would always be holding onto one, which would make for some great animations where they both would react to things together. And now Butarbecue here secretes their own flammable liquid, making it literally the Uber Eats of the Pokemon world for predators. I wanted to show this thing is nice and roasty, so I gave it this grill mark on the stomach as well as this crazy char effect all over the body. It may be a bit much with the rest of the colors here, but I think it would be really cool to watch this big pig slam into a foe with a heat crash and just leave a burn mark in the same shape as the mark on their stomach.
Tasty.
Butarbecue, the Barbecue Pokemon, are normal and fire type. Evolves from Lechonk when exposed to any apple item. Butarbecue hunt down Applin and roast them, then place the toasty Pokemon into their mouths. This provides constant nutrients even though the applin itself is still alive. They coat themselves in a sweet liquid that helps trap heat. Their stomach is always at roasting temperatures. Butarbecue have the abilities Gluttony and Flash Fire. Next up is Hypno. Yeah, that's right, one of my least loved designs actually becomes one of my more inspired ideas. In Alola, Hypno love to just nosh on some Kamala dreams, mentioned in their Dex entry, but when they become too greedy, they evolve. This is based off a few things: the classic frat boy party trope, a Hawaiian tourist just going over the top and being a menace to the locals, and Barkus, the god of partying, alcohol, and all that good stuff. Baku here collects Kamala logs and holds them like a glass of booze. I guess in this version of the Pokemon world, the Kamala log contains excess dream energy and can be drunk by Pokemon that can learn Dream Eater. So Baku holds them around its waist and is just 24/7 trashed on that dream juice. To really sell that sort of touristy feel, even though it is an Alolan exclusive Evo, it has also stolen a Comfey's Lay. On maybe given to them, I don't know. But it certainly has one now, and it really was just the perfect final piece to bring this all together and really sell the vibes, or lack of vibes in this one's case. Baku, the party Pokemon, a Psychic and Dark type. Evolves from Hypno in the Alola after defeating 10 Kamala and 10 Comfey. Baku are solely responsible for dwindling Kamala numbers. They will steal their logs imbued with Dream Energy and hoard them, draining the energy when they need it. Baku are always in a state of fervor, and have been seen attacking other Alolan Pokemon for unknown benefits. Baku have the abilities Insomnia and Comatose. Galarian Darumaka is next, another regional form. Snova's dex entries actually state that these Darumaka love to eat the berries that grow upon them, so I decided an evolution is in order. This evolution takes on a bit of a Yeti design, so as to blend in a bit better with the Snova, making it easier for them to steal all those delicious berries. I finished the design when I found out that the berries that grow on Snova are actually white on the outside, but I imagine maybe inside they're red or pink, and so Darumelty has eaten so many of them over time that their icy beard has been stained with red, as well as their paws. And it kind of plays into that whole, like, I guess bloodthirsty Yeti idea, where the stark white stained with the red blood, but much more tame, as it is just berry juice teehee. I did try to make the pose here reminiscent of the classic Bigfoot photo pose from the good old days. I can just imagine a grainy version of Darumelt in a snow-filled photo. Now, see, they are real. This photo proves it. Darumelty, the Ice Pop Pokemon, an Ice and Fairy type. Evolves from Galarian Darumaka with high friendship. Darumelty lives solitary existences around packs of Snova, keeping out of view from them. While Snova sleeps, Darumelty will sneak around and steal the berries that grow upon Snova. The ice that grows on Darumelty has a flavor and color influenced by the red berries they eat from Snova, and Darumelty will let Pokemon that can find them lick the ice like an ice pop. Darumelty have the abilities Snow Cloak and Ice Body. Joltik next, and while this is very much sort of a general electric type one, Yamper is mentioned a bit in its parasitism.
Oh, hell no, I'm out of here.
The idea here is, instead of going into spider territory, I have instead decided that it'd continue to make it a tick and play into the whole ticks' bodies getting bigger as they suck in more of the blood. And the classic ticks being on dogs they did with the Joltik Yamper thing. But of course, it's taking in electricity, not blood. So I went with one of my favorite useless novelties, a Tesla ball. Damn, these things are too cool. The staple of any pre-2000 scientists. As Voltrain here drains more and more electricity, their booty would get larger, and at max capacity be brimming with electricity. It could have had an ability like Electromorphosis, where when the ability activates it turns into this form, but I also like the look of it so much I just want it like this all the time. One of my best Pokemon renderings to date, I think. No, it's beautiful, wonderful. Almost makes me not hate you because you're a giant tick. Almost. Voltrain, the draining Pokemon, a bug and electric type. Evolves from Joltik after defeating 10 electric type Pokemon. Voltrain is small, using this size to attach to electric types and slowly drain them of energy. The more they drain, the larger their electric sac grows. When at full capacity, their electric sac courses with electricity. A single touch will cause even a Copperaja to faint, or worse. Voltrain have the abilities Compound Eyes and Volt Absorb. Two left, and our second final is good old Shellder, and the tragedy we saw at the start of the video. This one is admittedly silly, as I wanted to make the Slowbro Shellder thing into its own Pokemon. In this situation, this Shellder just takes and takes, sucking every last bit of vitality and nutrient from Slowbro, and eventually just taking all of it. Or I guess in some cases, an extra large Shellder just eats a Slowpoke whole. This ungodly abomination stays an incredibly spiky conch shell like Slowbro, but within the mouth now, there peeks two eyes that look a bit like Shellder's, but The idea is that it's some kind of nutrient-lacking Slowpoke or something that dangles their tail and or tongue out of the Shellder-like creature to look like its tongue, or just to snap up a big meal with the promise of a delicious Slowpoke tail. Not the most wild idea out there, but it is incredibly effective, I'll be honest. Concrave, the big bite Pokemon, a steel and water type. Evolves from Shellder after defeating 10 Slowpoke. A rare sight is to see a Shellder, or worse a Slowbro Shellder, devour a Slowpoke. When it does, it evolves into a warped parasitic relationship. Concrave will use their sweet-smelling tongue to attract other Pokemon, usually Slowpoke, to bite it, only for the biter to be devoured swiftly. Concrave have the abilities Shell Armor and Oblivious. Alright, let's finally cover Galarian Weezing, and Trubbish's dex entry in Pokemon Shield state that Weezing love their belches. Yuck. But they are now addicted to not just the belch, but oh no, they're eating the whole Trubbish whole now. Oh god. Where do we even go from Dapper Weezing? Well, something so silly and wild I decided, because it is eating trash, why not have it evolve into a trash truck? Listen, just hear me out here. Although you can't see it, the secondary Weezing is changed into the sort of trash receptacle at the back, and on the front our main Weezing is the driver. The smokestack's coming out the front and the back mimicking a truck's exhaust, and I'll be honest, this worked out so much better than I had thought it would. I really wanted to top it off by having a Trubbish just absolutely screaming for life up top. It's sad, but that's just nature for you. I had a funny thought while doing this that belching is just kind of floating along till it sees off in the distance a Galarian stadium where a Garbodor just G-maxes, and it's looking at it with the determination that it's about to have the best and most challenging meal of its lifetime. Godspeed, belching. Godspeed. Belching, the gas truck Pokemon, a poison and fairy type. Evolves from Galarian Weezing after defeating 30 Trubbish or Garbodor. Belching helped the people of Galar by cleaning up and eating trash. This has led to many Trubbish being devoured as well. The air belching expels from their smokestack is extremely clean, and many waste disposal companies employ belching. They hold garbage and Trubbish in their hollow back cavity till they are ready to devour whatever smells worse. Belching have the abilities Levitate and Neutralizing Gas. And that's all the horrible parasitic Pokemon evolutions I have for you today. Make sure to like the video, share it around and subscribe if you haven't already, and drop a comment on what evolution you liked here the most. And consider becoming a member as well. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
I brought back some takeout, so let's get down and pig out.
It's Shredder.